to no fur and anti-animal cruelty. Anti-animal cruelty. Yeah, that makes sense, right? Anti-animal cruelty. Hey lovelies, welcome back to Cruelty Free Models, a place to discover the industry's top cruelty-free and eco-conscious models and industry professionals. We will be talking about all things cruelty-free and, of course, have a little fun. So you guys, it is raining, so please excuse the noise in the background. But I cannot wait to, do this video. It is going to be so much fun. I'm going to be giving you guys some juice, some tea, and we are going to be discussing the top 5 iconic protests in defense of animals. We're going to be talking about models that walked out, talking about protests by Peta, so stay tuned. Okay, so first up is Miss Paris Jackson. Now this protest happened back in 2018 when Paris Jackson, of course model and of course daughter to the late legendary Michael Jackson, decided to quietly walk out on a Dior photo shoot once she found out that the theme of the photo shoot was women's rodeo wear. I don't blame her, y'all. Like, apparently this photo shoot actually did stick with the theme of a rodeo and actually used animals for entertainment. And it seems, according to an inside source that was speaking with People, they said that Jackson was uncomfortable with how the horses were being handled. Apparently there was a whipping sound, and so she quietly slipped out. So this wasn't some huge, loud, crazy protest or anything, but shoot, sometimes the ones that are quiet really do make the most noise. So good for her. We commend her for that. And she did later take to Twitter and stated that she was heartbroken at what she witnessed, but has no doubt that all, excuse me, y'all. But has no doubt that all high-end fashion brands will soon switch over to no fur and anti-animal cruelty. Yeah, that makes sense, right? Anti-animal cruelty. As that seems to be, the pattern here. And it really is. Like, a lot of brands are starting to go fur free, leather free, exotic skins free. So we are with her on that. She says this is a shift that she says everyone should be excited about. And yes, girl, we are. We are so excited about it. Next up, we have the gorgeous vegan model, Ruby Jean Wilson. Now, if you haven't heard of her, you are missing out. This girl she is fire. She is gorgeous, and she really sticks her neck out for the animals. So we can get down with her. Now, Ruby Jean Wilson was born in Scotland, and she refused to involve herself in a photo shoot that included fur. Apparently, so in a Facebook post, she stated, I don't believe that being in the fashion industry means that you are at the whim of designers or whoever is paying you. We have to collaboratively decide what's not cool anymore. Hell to the yeah. Ruby, we are so with you. Fur ain't cool. The skin of animals is not cool. And once we all decide that, which is what this channel is all about, models and industry professionals collectively deciding that we can make a difference here. We kind of are a big deal in this industry, and we can use our voices to bring about change. So, to Ruby Jean Wilson. Now, when speaking with Veg News magazine, she did admit that, I know that if I'd heard of another model saying no, it would have made me feel more comfortable to do the same. And I love that she said that, and she's doing that for other models. So the more and more models that come out and speak out against fur and other, cruel practices in the industry, the easier it'll become for other models to do the same. So you guys, ladies, men, let's get with it. Let's do this. Okay, moving on, we are going to talk about a few iconic protests that actually happened on the runway. So as Sydney Black would say, let's get in our time machines and go all the way back to 2002 to the Victoria's Secret fashion show. Yes. Okay, so news of supermodel Giselle's campaign deal with the American fur company Black Glamour, am I saying that right, y'all? Had just broke. So let's go back. The news of her campaign with this fur company just broke, that she was going to be modeling for them, blah blah blah. Now, remembering, of course, at the time she was the highest paid model, so she was the perfect target for PETA protesters. So as she strutted down the runway doing her thing, she was joined by several protesters, not donning lingerie, but rather signs reading Giselle, fur scum. Yes, I know it sounds harsh, you guys, but sometimes that's what it takes to change people's perspective. And it really did. It changed her perspective. So that's what makes this a remarkable story, honestly. So ever since that incident, Giselle has actually become a voice for environmental and animals, for the environment and animals, and even spoke to Vogue saying, and I quote, "Suddenly it dawned on me. I was in the hamster wheel. I'm just going out there to be a good girl and do what my agent tells me to do. What do I know? It wasn't until that shock. It stopped me in my tracks. They sent me all these videos. I wasn't aware of what was happening, and I was devastated. So I said, listen, I'm not doing fur campaigns. It put me in the driver's seat, finally. The universe comes to you and says, hello, maybe you should notice this. You need to be responsible for the choices you make. You go, girl." According to PETA, Giselle ended up researching how animal agriculture devastates the environment, harms human health, and hurts animals. And she and her family are now thriving on a mostly plant-based diet. How amazing is that story, you guys? Like, seriously. Okay, you guys, moving on. Let's fast forward to the Cavalli fashion show at Milan Fashion Week in 2006. So, PETA protesters were quickly yanked off the stage after storming the runway with anti-fur signs reading, "Cavalli equals cruelty." So while researching, I came across a New York Times article titled, "The Struggling Fashion House Roberto Cavalli Closes in U.S. Stores." Now this is recent. This isn't like back in the day or nothing. So, I'm thinking like, well, no shit. I mean, It also stated that they have fallen from favor with its fan base in recent years. I wonder why. Anyway, you guys, I just can't help but wonder, like, if they had changed with the times, went for free, went, a little more sustainable or a little more eco-friendly, like, maybe they wouldn't be in this position. So many luxury designers, so many fashion houses from Gucci and, Tommy Hilfiger and so many more, they've taken steps to become innovative and change. So again, perhaps they wouldn't be in this position if they had have just, tried to go with the flow. What makes it especially sad is that they have some really, really nice looking, like, cute stuff. They just need to get with it. That's all. That's all they need to do. Okay, you guys. So rounding out the top 5 iconic protests for animals in terms of fashion shows or fashion weeks or photo shoots is Vivienne Westwood, the iconic Vivienne Westwood. We love her. So basically recently, most recently, back in 2019, I don't want to say back in because it makes it sound so like long ago. It's just a year ago. Anyway, so Vivienne Westwood is a vegetarian and fur-free designer. And basically in 2019, during her runway show, she protested climate change at the London Fashion Week. So she sent models down the catwalk wearing aprons and shirts, berating politicians, and basically donating climate change slogans. Now, I know climate change isn't like directly like cruelty free, but it does affect animals and the environment, so I am including this on the list. Models were also joined by activist Rose McGowan and executive director of Greenpeace, John Salvin. Many of the models carried microphones and stopped to make short speeches about the threat of climate change. The show happened at the same time protests were also happening by the environmental action group Extinction Rebellion. So these things were happening at the same time, so it made an even bigger impact. But basically, they were also protesting to bring awareness to the throwaway nature of the fashion industry. And if you don't know, fashion is one of the top like polluters to the environment, like as a whole, like for real. You guys need to check out my video on the top 5 cruelty-free or eco-conscious fashion weeks around the world. It's really cool. So yeah, that rounds out the top 5, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. My voice is cracking, so I'm going to end this. Be sure to comment, subscribe, like this video, share it, and yeah, it was great to connect with you guys again, and I will see you guys next time.